All right, everybody, welcome to another What's on Dave's Shelf. In this video, we're going to take a look at everybody's favorite D&D edition. And I'm going out on a limb by saying this. Everybody's favorite D&D edition, 4th edition. I'm a huge 4th edition fan. I just love the way that it's set up. It's a DM's dream. It has all the bells and whistles for utilities, public play, maps, tiles, everything you need. Class token packs, DM token kits. I mean, it's a beautiful game. Lots of options for characters and all that other good stuff. So here's 45. I have 45 hardbacks right here. All of the hardbacks for 4th edition. And then over to my right, I've got another 20 box sets and beta books and map packs and all that other stuff. So bear with me. I'm going to kind of move a couple of these things out of the way, and hopefully I don't knock my camera off of the tripod mount or knock my mic off of its mount. So yeah, 4th edition. Whew. It's actually quite a nice edition. Like I said, I mean, I wish more people would give it a chance, but that's just me. And so we'll go ahead and we'll take a look at a bunch of these books. As you can see, there's a bunch. All right, so here's your player's handbook. This has everything you need: races, players, magic items. I mean, everything. Beautiful art. It's a massive book. I know the player's handbook, the DMG, and the monster manual were put out on release, which calls 29 pages of errata, which is a ton. I think there's like 60 total pages of errata for 4th edition. When they closed up 4th edition, they said, all right, here's all the errata. 60 pages, I think. 59 pages, whatever. But here's your player's handbook. And it, like I said, it has everything. It's like every other handbook. And then you have your player's handbook 2. This gave you more primal stuff, more arcane stuff. Like it gave you like the druid, the barbarian, the bard, stuff like that. And it's, like I said, it's the same thing. It's set up. It's got tons of new feats, tons of new powers, and here's 10,000 powers in D&D 4th edition. So if that's not enough variety for you, you don't like variety. You must like, you get this at 3rd level, you get this at 5th level. You must like that type of stuff. So here's Player's Handbook 3. And, you know, the Player's Handbooks, they actually add races too. And I think there's like 80 races or so. Everything from a Minotaur to a vampire to, I mean, everything. Dungeon Master's Guides. There's actually a couple Dungeon Master's Guides, as you can see. Yeah, so, yeah, the DMG. Everything you need to run a game. And then some. It's not a bad DMG. I like the 5th edition DMG. It's pretty nice. Here's your DMG 2. Tons of art. Ugh. Then you got 3 monster manuals. Here's Monster Manual 1. Came out at release. Yeah, I mean, just tons of monsters. And the great thing about D&D is there's just not one, here's your slots. I mean, there's a whole bunch of different level ranges worth of slots. So this is what I like about 4th edition. There's a 5th edition slot. There's a level 5, level 13, 17, 15, 18, 20. Plus all the different chaoses, and I mean, it gives you any kind of diseases and all of the lore of the creatures, all of the tactics of the creatures, and yeah, it's like I said, it's a DM's dream the way that 4th edition is set up. Everybody's favorite edition. I can't wait to see the comments after saying that a couple times. How dare you? 4th edition's a video game. Here's a DM, the Monster Manual 2. And then last but not least, here's the Monster Manual 3, which actually, when Monster Manual 3 came out, it actually changed the format of the monster stat blocks. So it basically separated them out. As you can see, there's more categories. Like here's your traits, your standard actions, your move actions, any kind of triggered actions, minor actions, etc. So yeah, this is sort of like this is basically for D&D essentials and stuff, and just a lot. There's a lot more higher level monsters in the Monster Manual 3, which was a really nice book. Now we've got about 10 books of powers. And like I said, there are 10,000 powers in D&D 4th edition. A ton of powers. So there is a ton of customization. So here's Arcane Power. These are all your options for bards, sorcerers, sword mages, warlocks, and wizards. And it is nothing but powers, feats. Like the book advertises, it's options, and that's all it is. New songs, all kinds of new items for those classes, new Paragon levels, new epic destinies, and it's just power after power. These are powers. And you get to choose powers pretty much just about every level. You get to choose between like 6 powers a level, which is amazing. So here's Divine Power. Divine Power is for your options for your Avengers, your Clerics, your Invokers, and Paladins. That beautiful Dragonborn. I love that piece of art. That's one of my favorite pieces of 4th edition art right there. I just love it. With the drow and stuff. Yeah, in the Underdark. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, set up the same. Just pages of feats and pages of epic destinies and Paragon Pass. Look at all those feats. Just pages of feats. Yeah. New classes, new Paragon classes of Stonecaller, and all that good stuff. Savant. Variety. Here's Martial Power 1. There's 2 Martial Power books, and your Martial Powers is for your fighters, your rangers, your rouges, and your warlords. Rouges. I'll get corrected in the comments section for that too. You better guarantee I will. So yeah, if you're going to want to play a Rouge and you want some options, Rogue, there you go, there's your martial powers. I'm just kidding with the Rouge, all you grammar Nazis out there. Same thing, feats. Just look at all these feats in this book, man. That's crazy. There's 4,000 feats in 4th edition. I think according to the inside of the D&D Insider, there's like 4,000 feats. 10,000, like 9,700 powers or something like that. Just 10,000 magic items. Just crazy amounts of stuff. Here's more player options. Martial Power 2 for fighters, rangers, rogues, and this is a nice piece of art too. I like this. I'm not a big elf fan, but that's actually a really, really nice piece of art. There you go. All that stuff. As you can see, it's just option after option for you. This is beautiful. And I obviously, going through 45 hardbacks, I can't show you every page of every single hardback. There's just no way I could do that. This video would be like 10 hours long. Here's your Primal Power. Here's all kinds of options for barbarians, druids, shamans, and wardens. I like the warden class too, but my 2 favorite classes in 4th edition are the cleric, obviously, and also the warlord. I'm a huge warlord fan, and I like the paladin. So those are my top 3. I would say the warden finishes probably 4th. So here's all your barbarian and bard and all the basically the fae. Primal powers, baby. Primal powers. For all you psionic handbook freaks from 2nd edition, here's psionic powers too. For your ardents, your battle minds, your monks, and your scions. And yes, what is this? A bookmark. Nice. Oh wow, this is beautiful. So here we go. The battle mind, all those other psionic based characters. Have fun to your heart's content. Here's heroes. This is I showed these in my essentials video, but the player option books, the Heroes of the Elemental Chaos, Heroes of the Feywild, and Heroes of Shadow. These are the once essentials came out, And the monsters were redone. The monster stat blocks were redone for Essentials, making them much easier to read. And also the classes were streamlined, getting a lot of the effects and conditions. These are for Essentials. So yeah, these are beautiful books too. All kinds of items and all kinds of powers. These powers aren't as crazy as from the primal powers and stuff like that. So these are dumb. I don't want to say dummied down powers, but they don't have as much meat to them because they wanted to make the classes more streamlined and they wanted to make combat faster. So here's Heroes of the Feywild. Your bards and barbarians and your wizard stuff. And then here's a shadow, which is for your rouges, your dirges, stuff like that. There's some warlock stuff in here. There's a new shade class. There you go. There's a new vampire. Yeah. Here's the shadow, baby. Woo! Here's I love these books. 3 magic item books in 4th edition. Adventurer's Vault. Remember the Adventurer's Vault in Book of Vile Darkness, the most awesome D&D movie of all time? I actually like that movie. That's the best D&D movie to me. Even though it's still pretty horrible, the actors tried their best. But yeah, there was the Adventurer's Vault when he got his weapon. Remember that? So yeah, they took that from 4th edition because that movie came out during this time. Look at all these items. Thousands of magic items. There we go. Yeah, just page after page after page of just magic items. Look at that. Oh, isn't that just awesome sauce? Oh, and you can convert these to D&D 5th edition or basic D&D or whatever. So there's an Adventurer's Vault 1, and then there's an Adventurer's Vault 2, which I think the Adventurer's Vault had a lot more components and stuff for casters. But I mean, even though Volume 1 did as well. But see, I mean, it's just full of nothing but magic items. It's crazy. And then you got Mordenkainen, which is actually a pretty rare book, come to find out. Mordenkainen's, this is one of the last books that came out for D&D 4th edition. This came out after Essentials was released, and this has a lot of 6-piece armor sets. There's a ton of different craftable items, potions, and all the mechanics for all that stuff, and artifacts. There's like the Book of Vile Darkness there, and yeah, look at that. This is beautiful. I mean, just tons and tons of stuff. Yeah, nice stuff. So now we got a bunch more books too. Let me get these books over here for you. I hope my little table, my table is just saying help me right now. It's saying help me, Dad. Don't break my table, Dad. That's what it's saying. So I got to kind of space these out because my table is kind of tilting. So here's a bunch more 4th edition stuff. So yeah. Whew. There's a bunch of campaign settings. The default campaign setting is an Intervale, and it's in the player's handbook and also in the Dungeon Master's Guide. But it's actually more detailed in the Dungeon Master's Guide. But there's also Dark Sun. The Dark Sun campaign setting came out, which is nice. And the great thing about these 4th edition books that I should have probably mentioned beforehand, they all came with maps. Just about every book that's, of course not the core books like the power books, but every book has a map. And I love that. And that's what I miss about D&D 5th edition. No maps. Well, there's a couple, but not compared to 4th edition. So yeah, this is all about Dark Sun. All kinds of new classes, new races, everything. Dark Sun campaign setting. And then in these campaign setting books, there are actually quite a few adventures and encounters that are pre-built for you also. This is what I like. And this is what Chris actually did. This was Chris Sims' favorite project that he told me. This was, the Dark Sun creature catalog. You know, he loved doing this. This was his funnest project. So yeah, just nothing but Dark Sun creatures. Awesome stuff, huh? Here's the Eberron Player's Guide. So there's an Eberron setting as well. Wow. So this has all the, you know, all of your Eberron stuff. Magic items and all your runes and races. And there's your dragon marks and all kinds of new powers. And well, there you go. All the maps. Here's the Eberron Campaign Guide. Massive. This is probably one of the biggest books in 4th edition. And, you know, there's a nice fold-out map there. And there you go. All kinds of adventures and encounters. And then it has everything about the entire world of Eberron and creating adventures. So, yeah, really nice. Has all the history, the timelines. Here's the Forgotten Realms. So here you got all kinds of Forgotten Realms stuff, like your Eladrin and your new Paragon Paths, new feats, new epic destinies. I mean, this has everything you need to you know, play. And it talks about the different areas of Forgotten Realms also. But see, here's all your new powers and stuff for the classes and your new races and stuff. Then you have your campaign guide, which is I actually ran the campaign in here. This was actually really nice. So I had a fun time. Plus you got the Spell Plague map. This is nice. This is a beautiful map. Too bad we don't have a map of the Forgotten Realms for 5th edition. But wait. It should just be the Sword Coast. So here's all kinds of new monsters, adventures. I mean, everything for the Forgotten Realms. All the different areas, the cities, all fully fleshed out. I mean, this is a big book. It's like almost 300 pages. So, as you can see, this has everything. It's beautiful. All the deities, new items, and history timelines, adventures. There's more. There's adventures in the back, adventures in the front, encounters, maps, everything you need. Here's a Neverwinter. This Neverwinter was actually for D&D Essentials. It has the Sword Mage. Here's a beautiful Neverwinter map. Look at that. They're so consistent with all the maps, aren't they? There's adventures, and this is just like every other book, set up with everything you need to play. There's a fully mapped out Neverwinter, all the different districts, all the new character options, monsters. That's beautiful. Everything you need to play in Neverwinter. It's awesome. Then here's a bunch of other books that were just splat books. Here's a book of an entire book on the undead called Open Grave. I mean, this is just everything about the undead, all kinds of new monsters, and I mean, this is like another monster manual just of undead. All kinds of adventures. I mean, all these different encounters that are pre-built for you. I mean, this is just nice. It talks about the main areas of the world where, you know, the undead are. And I mean, look, half of this book is just like monsters and adventures. Look at that. It's just crazy. And then there's like some undead options as well. There's a bunch of diseases and stuff. Artifacts held by the undead. Yeah, this is good stuff right here. There's also some group stuff to do in here. Really nice stuff, man. Here's a dungeon survival guide. This is not really a splat book. It just kind of talks about, you know, some of the old past dungeons like Undermount and the Tomb of Horrors and stuff. So it's just sort of like if you're new to D&D, this would be cool to kind of read about. I read this like years ago. My son liked this too. Of course, my son loved Ravenloft. He's a huge zombie and vampire freak, so he's ready for the coronavirus to start the apocalypse and undead. You know, the zombie apocalypse. So next is Into the Unknown. This is a dungeon survival guide. This has all kinds of adventure hooks. All kinds of new options for skills and stuff for going into dungeons and playing nothing but like dungeon adventures and everything. There's a bunch of adventures in here, a bunch of plug and play encounters. I mean, this is just crazy. I mean, this is everything you need. There's all the new powers and stuff for going down in the dungeons and stuff. So, yeah, really nice book, especially if you're going to play dungeon stuff, Into the Unknown. Here's a Revenge of the Giants. I think this is a rehash from the Giants G123. There's a couple fold-out maps here. And then this is just like a huge campaign. Nothing but the Giants. I think it kind of mimics the Giants. Just from what I've read, I think it kind of copies it. I mean, it's not word for word, but yeah, it's an adventure for level 12 to 17 characters. Here's Dungeon Delve. Now, this is one of my favorite books in 4th edition. And what Dungeon Delve is it's 30 adventures, because there's 30 levels in D&D 4th edition. And this book has 33 part adventures. I mean, look at that. They're just plug and play. They've got great stories behind them. In fact, I ran about 15 of these years ago when I first started streaming. And yeah, there's 33 part adventures. I mean, they're just beautiful, man. All the monsters are in here. You don't need anything but this book. It's awesome. Dungeon Delve for characters 1 to 30. If you just need a random adventure, and if your characters are like level 7, just take the level 7 3-part adventure and just throw it in there. If they're going from point A to point B in your adventure, I mean, convert it. It'd be easy to convert it to D&D 5th edition too. I mean, it would be super easy. Here's Halls of Undermountain. This is an adventure that, I mean, it's got a huge Undermountain map. I mean, I don't think you could really use it unless you're using like microscopic miniatures, because, of course, Undermountain is so huge. And then there's a couple maps as well on the other side for encounters. But, there's like 70, I mean, the whole first level map, there's obviously, the book would be 500-600 pages, but there's still around 100 encounters that you can have for Undermountain. And it's not my favorite for sure. I wanted to run this, but I kind of wasn't really into it, because it didn't really remind me of Undermountain. So I never ran it. Even though I put it in Fantasy Grounds, I just never ran it. But yeah, not the best book. Halls of Undermountain, still it was a pretty decent read. And this is actually for D&D Essentials as well. So here's the Tomb of Horrors hardback, and has some nice maps, as you can see. Beautiful art, all kinds of encounters, and it has everything from the Tomb of Horrors. All the different chambers, and there you go. There's a Shadow Tomb map. That's not the actual Tomb of Horrors, but this isn't the true Tomb of Horrors. This is just they just called the book Tomb of Horrors because it's just a bunch of adventures. That's what it is. Just a bunch of adventures. But it's called the Tomb of Horrors. Remember when Dragon Magazine was around? Well, anyway, they made a annual for 1 year. I guess they didn't sell that well. But they took all of the great articles out of Dragon Magazine and they put them into a book. So if you didn't get the magazines, you could get the book. There you go. And it's just a bunch of monsters redone, like the kobolds and stuff. Here's a N to go with Dragon. Of course, there's Dungeon. And I actually like this Dungeon Magazine annual because, of course, what was Dungeon Magazine? Nothing but adventures. So these are the most popular adventures of like 2006 or 2007. And it has every popular adventure that there was. There you go. Pretty cool, huh? So that was Dungeon Magazine annual. And then towards the end, they came out with the Player Strategy Guide. And this just teaches you how to min-max, basically. This isn't my favorite book. But I mean, it just basically tells you how to play the game and how to maximize your character, basically. I wasn't a big fan of this book. Because I don't think min-maxing is what D&D is about. But some players play that way. Not my players. But, because they don't like that crap. But, yeah. For all you min-maxers out there, get the Player Strategy book. You'll love it. So here's one more stack of books, and then I have some box sets and stuff that I'll show you. Here's the Demonomicon, which is basically a book full of nothing but demons. All of their different the areas that they dwell. I mean, this is all kinds of encounters, adventures. I mean, it's everything about demons. Awesome. Well, devils as well. Then here's the Draconomicon. Here's all your chromatic dragons. So this is basically an entire book of nothing but chromatic types of dragons. Like I said, there are, 10,000 magic items. There's like 9,700 powers, and there's like 7,000 monsters in 4th edition. Has everything. Has Tiamat, has Bahamut, has everything. Yeah, there you go. All kinds of adventures, plug and play encounters. You can see all those maps there. Look at that. All kinds of good stuff. Talks about dragons' anatomy, how you can kill them, how you can breed them, everything. Here's everything. Metallic dragons. Same thing. And not only are there just dragons, there's like, all kinds of different, the dragon henchmen and all the options for when they go into like humanoid form and stuff, and talks about giving them magic and tons of it. Here's a Dragon's Lair adventure in here. Yeah, good stuff. All kinds of, and in these books too, there's a ton of skill challenges also, because skill challenges were big in 4th edition. Here's a manual of the planes. So here's a bunch of stuff on the planes. More monsters, more encounters, more adventures. Astral Sea. Sigil. Manual of the Planes. Here's the plane above. There's a whole book on the secrets of the Astral Sea. All that great stuff. All kinds of new encounters. I mean, there's monsters everywhere. Tons of Githyanki stuff. Oh, I love the Githyanki. First time I ever saw the Githyanki on the original 1st edition Fiend Folio, I was like, that is awesome. I was like, that is the weirdest looking monster I've ever seen. And then, of course, they're badass too. So there's traversing through the astral seas, all kinds of mechanics on airships and stuff. Here's the plane below. So, of course, you got the plane above, you got the plane below, and all of the devils and stuff in this book. So, yeah. Encounters, everything about, the creatures of the elemental chaos. Talks about the different levels of it. All kinds of good stuff. Encounters, adventures, primordials. Is everything you need. Here's last couple books. The Underdark. Now, yeah, this is a good book too. This is everything. 4th edition covers everything. I mean, it really does. It covers everything. And here's everything about, all the creatures in the Underdark, the major cities. I mean, this has everything. All the different poisonous mushrooms and sporous mushrooms. And I mean, it has everything. All the diseases you can get. Adventures. There's adventures there. And it's beautiful. And then last but not least, Menzo Berenzan. So this is to go with, of course, the Underdark, the most famous city. And there's a beautiful map for it. There's Drizzt right there. Or Dritz, however you want to say it. I don't care. I've heard people call Drizzt or Drizzt anything. I've heard them say it 50,000 ways. And I know what you're saying, so whatever. Leave a comment down below. all kinds of artifacts. Talks about the different houses and how the houses kill each other during the night and have their wars and stuff. All the, talks about Loth, everything. There we go. Everything Underdark. There you go. Menza Burns on. So there we go, folks. There's all of the hardbacks, which 40 plus hardbacks, 45 hardbacks, I think. And then I also have some other goodies as well. So here's a Dungeon Master's token kit. I got this is from Gale Force 9. This is a DM token kit, and this has all of your different conditions and stuff. This running 4th edition without this, I believe, would be pretty hard to do around the table because all of the ongoing damages, the statuses, the conditions and stuff. So having the DM token kit, I think, would really help to run a 4th edition game around the table. So this is a Gale. In fact, I actually got this at the game store. I actually got that at Sci-Fi City. Here's the original D&D 4th edition box set. I'm not going to open it up because I've only opened it up a couple times, and it's in wonderful shape, and I don't want to bend the box up. But there's a lot of beautiful stuff, and they really went above and beyond for these 4th edition box sets. They give you dice, they give you tiles, they give you pogs, they give you the player's book, and then they give you the Dungeon Master's book that is like 100 pages with a full monster manual in it, how to make traps, a full-fledged adventure, everything. So this is the original 4th edition box set. It's actually in good shape. It's not crushed up. I don't set the boxes down. I keep them up and down. So here's the Shadowfell. This is one of the planes in D&D 4th edition. And this is a beautiful box set as well. This has a 128-page campaign guide, has everything about Gloomrot and, everything. Everything you need to know about the Shadowfell. A 32-page book of nothing but encounters in Gloomrot and the Shadowfell. There is a couple of double-sided maps of the city of Gloomrot and some tactical maps. There's a couple of cardstock sheets of monster tokens. And then there's also a deck of 30 cards that the Dungeon Master can use to enhance your Shadowfell-based games. And this is put out for D&D Essentials also. So, the Shadowfell, nice box set. Yeah, the boxes are pretty flimsy, but as long as you don't take there's like a support box inside. If you don't take that support box out, just leave it in there, your box will stay in good shape. So, and then I've always I love this right here, Madness at Gardmore Abbey. In fact, I started converting this for D&D 5th edition, but I never got to run it. So, Madness at Gardmore Abbey is a huge adventure. This is like a massive 4-book adventure for characters 6th to 8th level, and this is like a haunted mansion. And there's some encounters in there, but it's a lot of traps and a lot of puzzles. It's just insane. And plus, the bonus in this box is you actually get a deck of many things. So, yeah, here's your 32-card deck of the deck of many things. It doesn't give you the 20. It doesn't give you the 13-card deck. It gives you the 22-card deck, which is pretty awesome. And then not only does it give you the 4 adventure books, it gives you all kinds of fold-out maps, all kinds of huge tiles, and then all kinds of pogs as well. So, yeah, this seems like a really, really fun game. And, I bought the PDF from Dungeons & Dragons Classics, and I fell in love with this adventure, Madness at Gardmore Abbey. So that's something that I definitely want to run as well. And then last but not least, I've got a couple more D&D 4th edition things. And I didn't bring them all down, but I'm just going to kind of give you the gist of the different types of things that support D&D 4th edition. Now, if you can get your hands on these map packs, guys, I really recommend. I'm not sure how much they are, but I got these on, I think I got these from the game store. These were like, what, $10? Yeah, they were $12 at the game store. And inside of these, there are a bunch of double-sided maps. There's 1, 2, 3. So there's 3 double-sided maps. So 6 maps, 6 beautiful fold-out maps of haunted temples. And then there's 3 double-sided maps of the vaults of the Underdark. And then there's 3 double-sided Shadowkeep maps. So there's a total of 9 fold-out maps. And these are beautiful. So if you can get your hands on these, I'm not sure how much they are. I don't even think they're in print anymore. But if you can get these, I really recommend you getting them because they are nice. Now, in D&D 4th edition, there's like 3 full-fledged sets of tiles. Now, this is just the first one I yanked off the shelf. This is the U1. This is also the Giant King. These are pretty rare. These are out of print too. But in D&D 4th edition, the encounters that were built, all the pre-made encounters, tells you what pack these tiles are from and which tiles to use. So I love that about 4th edition. And there's probably about 30 of these packs between the beginning of 4th edition and then the end of 4th edition. There was another one that had 3D pieces that you could like put together. Like I showed those off in another video where you can build carts and stands and stuff for like a market square. So yeah, there's probably about, I'd say there's also some for D&D 3.5 as well. So between 3.5 and the 4th edition tile packs, there's probably 30 of them. And I'm not too sure how much they are, but they were $10, but I'm sure they're probably more than that now. And then I got some beta books, Races and Classes. These were at the game store. These were actually like $5 a book. And I guess they'd had them for years and I'd never seen them. But this is everything, you know, about the clerics and basically the races and classes for D&D before it came out. So it's basically like preview copies. And then here's another one. Oh, I actually got 2 of them. And then here's Worlds and Monsters. So this has everything about all the different dragons and stuff like that. It doesn't have any stat blocks, but it just kind of talks about what's coming for 4th edition. Then here's a couple of Dungeon Master screens. This Dungeon Master screen was the first to come out for D&D 4th edition, and they're beautiful DM screens. I mean, they're hard plastic. They're like 4 screen. Are they 3 or 4 screen? I believe these are 4 screen. And then here's the revised one that came out with D&D Essentials. And this is a sideways screen, which is really nice. And the art's amazing. Displacer Beast. Look at that, all that information on with actually pertinent information you need to run a game. Not 4 panels of nothing but art and conditions in later editions. And no horrible reincarnated screen either. Here's character sheets, like a pack. This is I'm not too sure how many's in here, but there's a bunch of power cards too, like sheets of power cards that you can, like if you want to make power cards for your characters. There's also power cards too. There's about 30 decks of cards. Here's Hammerfast. Hammerfast it's in the mountains of the Nenter Vale. And this is just a whole book with maps and everything on Hammerfast. I mean, it's beautiful. All kinds of adventure hooks and a fully fleshed out Hammerfast. I mean, it's amazing. All kinds of adventures and stuff too. So Vorakoth, which is kind of by Gloomrot and Shadowfell and all that stuff. I don't know how I got 2 of these. But anyways, I got 2 of them. And this is basically everything you need for Vorakoth. So, yep. And there's an adventure here for 5th to 15th level characters. There's a battle map in here and stuff as well. Here were some, these are pretty interesting. These were handbooks just for the races. I'm not too sure if they were going to do one for every single race. I'm not too sure because they pulled the plug on 4th edition. But yeah, this is a book just for the Dragonborn. I'm thinking that they weren't going to do that because the Tiefling and the Dragonborn were the new races in 4th edition. So here's like a complete, 32-page book on Dragonborn, how to play them and stuff. For Tieflings, here we go. And then, oh yeah, the Book of Vile Darkness. This is a great supplement also. Great supplement. All kinds of, playing evil characters, how to make evil characters, how to, what to do going into towns and just killing all the innocent people. It has everything, all kinds of new feats. It has maps and everything. And then it has and then it also came with a full-fledged adventure too, the Book of Vile Darkness Adventure. And it's 32 pages or something like that. So, and then here's all kinds of new additional features and stuff. Yeah, awesome stuff. Good times. 4th edition, as you can see, is a fully supported game. And yeah, that's pretty much everything. I think I have everything for D&D 4th edition. If there's something that I don't have, I have all the other tile packs and stuff. I'm just not going to drag them off the shelf. I've got enough stuff up here right now anyway. So, yeah, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please feel free to leave a comment down below. Do you like 4th edition? D&D's most famous edition. Just kidding. I'm just trolling. Don't get all mad and leave a bad comment down there. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please thumbs up the video if you like it. There's definitely a lot of 4th edition stuff, and it's good that you can use all of this content in other editions as well, and other games. So, yeah. So, thanks, everybody. And leave a comment down below. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And until next time, happy gaming and stay safe. Bye, everybody.